going on, guys? It's Trevor Plays here, back again with another My Hero Academia review, episode 3, or in total, episode 41. So, let's just get started here. So, there wasn't anything before the intro, it was just the My Hero Academia intro, like always, so that was good to see again, and, now let's actually get on to what the episode was all about here. So, the first scene that we see is, we see Class 1B finally awake and getting ready to start their training. And in the last episode, in the last review, Class 1A started at the end of the episode, but we didn't get to see it until now, and it's already like either day 2 or day 3 of the camp. So 1B finally has to get started and, do their training and stuff. But what happens is Class 1B ends up walking over to where 1A is. And like I said before, is what they're trying to do is improve their quirks, not just their body physically, because they've pretty much already done that. But now everyone has to work on their quirks to improve them, to get better, to get stronger, to, do some good stuff with them, really. And the training camp is, obviously for that, but what they're having them do is, by training their quirks, they have to, overexert themselves. So they have to use their quirk as long as they can to improve, like if it's like a time-based one, like Kaminari, Momo, Kirishima, and like all these other like ones that like need time really to use their quirk. To extend their time, they actually have to, overexert themselves by using their quirk as long as they can until they pass out or something like that. So in there we see a couple scenes. Hopefully I will get a bunch of screenshots for you and like paste them right here, so that way you can see them doing their stuff. And so there was a lot of people doing like overexerting themselves, and there's others like Bakugo who was putting his hands in into a boiling hot pot of water and then shooting them up using, his explosions and stuff. And then we see Todoroki sitting in a another pot, using his ice and his fire, not at the same time, but pretty much repeatedly. So maybe one day he'll able to use them at the same time. So that's what I'm hoping for, really. Because, he's my favorite character, so, gotta go with that. But I also have other favorites, too, which, if you look at my YouTube channel and you see the My Hero Academia cast, you'll see 3 of them on there. I will probably potentially add a few more, but that'll be later on down the road. You see 1B's reaction to 1A's training. They had second thoughts of why they were here. And after that, we finally get to see all of the Wild Pussycats, because we finally get to see Ragdoll and Tiger, along with Pixie Bob and Mandalay. I got the names right this time, alright? So, yes, we finally see Ragdoll and Tiger, who are the other 2 Wild Pussycats that we did not see in the last episode, but we did see in this one. And, Tiger is the teacher, the teacher for all the people that have strength quirks. So he said, his literal line was, "I'm here to beat you up." Like, in the terms of beating people up, getting them stronger and stuff. And he's like, all of you that have strength quirks, you'll be training under me. And then it pans over to Deku, who's doing like this weird like punching and like stretching and like stuff like that. And some of the Class 1B are just like, no, he's too scary. I don't want to train under him. but that's comedic effect. So there was that. It was really cool to see the rest of Wild Wild Pussycats. Didn't know how their voice actors were going to sound, but they fit the characters. I kind of figured that they would fit the characters pretty well, and especially with the voice actor of Kota as well. Mandalay's cousin's son. I got that right too. I had to edit that in the last one, but yeah, I got it. So Mandalay's cousin's son, Kota, we see more of him saying, I don't just hate heroes, I hate quirks in general, and stuff like that, and he keeps on yelling at Deku, and, all that good stuff that Kota's there for. So after they meet Ragdoll, Tiger, and well as seeing Pixie Bob and Mandalay again, they now have to make their own foods, because they have to make their own foods now, because it's self-support only, because the Wild Wild Pussycats aren't going to be providing them food anymore at the camp. They have to make their own food. So we see a lot of we see like two big scenes of them gathering supplies, setting everything up to need fire quirks to help light the wood and get ready to start cooking some stuff. So we see that was kind of cool, and it's fun to see, because My Hero Academia, it's action, comedy, and slice of life. So we see a bunch of the school type stuff, and then we see the action and what My Hero Academia is for. But I do kind of like how they add in the slice of life genre of anime into this, because it's fun to see how class 1A and 1B react to each other, and express how they, I wouldn't say how they feel about each other, because we know Monoma, who I freaking hate so much, he's so annoying, but other than him, Class 1B does kind of they kind of look up to 1A in a way, but then again, they also want to try to beat them, because since they are Class 1B and 1A is, they've already fought villains, they've already, they pretty much won the sports festival in the last season, and then, all this other stuff, but, Class 1A and 1B pretty much are the main cast of My Hero Academia, because now that brings our cast total from 20 from 1A to 40 because of 1B as well. So that is what I'm hoping for as My Hero Academia continues, is we see more from 1B and 1A working together and teaming up and doing, a lot of cool things together and not against each other. But I mean, again, some of the against each other parts will be kind of cool, because it's competitive stuff. But other than that, it's I just like to see them team up together, because I want to see how they would handle things if you have two different classes teaming up. Come on. But anyway, after the whole slice of life camp type stuff, we finally see all 7 villains, and they're all led by Dobby. And later we find out what their group is called, but that's at the end of the episode, and I'll explain that later. Actually, in a bit here, really. But, okay, so after we see Dobby leading all 7 villains, they're just talking. They're on side of a mountainside. They're just talking and saying that, they're just talking about stuff, really, and saying how they need to take down all these wannabe heroes and stuff like that. So after we see Dobby and all of them, it cuts back over to the class 1A and 1B training together, and after all of the Dobby scene and all that, the training is still continuing, and Pixie Bob decided to come up with, obviously, the well-known test of courage at night in the forest. So, what it was putting Class 1A and 1B against each other. But how they decided to do that is Class 1B would be the scarers, and they would hide in the forest and try to scare Class 1A as they paired up in groups. Now, because 5 of 1A are in remedial class, they were dragged off by Aizawa back to the campsite to, do their remedial class, stuff. And then they have to pull, the rest of the class had to pull numbers to figure out who was being paired up together, and Deku started counting everybody, so we get to see everyone's, paired up together, and then we see Deku, who's by himself. So, he didn't have a partner, so he was kind of scared about that, but, it's Deku. But, yeah. So, after that, after all of the teams were placed, then they finally went off into the forest, and they had to, start the test of courage. But shortly after that, and funny thing was, Todoroki and Bakugo were teamed up together, so that was kind of funny as well. So, after a few of Class 1A goes out into the forest, and then we see a little bit of 1B. We see Kendo and another girl, and the guy that looks like from Attack on Titan, who kind of looks like Eren from Attack on Titan, whose quirk is softness. So, we see them, and they're Class 1B. They're the scarers. They have to scare 1A. So we see a little bit of them, and then there's some smoke, and then some foggy haze or whatever. And obviously, it's sleep gas. So the guy that looks like he's from Attack on Titan, he passes out, and then Kendo notices. So then she covers her mouth and then uses her quirk, which is Big Fist, and she makes her hand really big and covers up the other girl, so that way she's not, falling asleep as well. And then after that, we cut over to the camp, and we see they see black smoke, and they're trying to figure out if there was a fire or something. And then it pans over to Dabi lighting a tree on fire, or lighting trees on fire, really, with his quirk. And I like how his quirk is blue flames, and honestly, I like Dabi. I've liked Dabi since he showed up, but I like Dabi even more because my favorite color is blue, and he uses blue and black flames. So, I mean, come on, what's not to like about him now? So yeah, we see Dabi, and then he's all now either let's get started or it's go time or something. I don't remember exactly what he said, but it's something of okay, now let's start, or something like that. So, while at the test of courage, the 7 villains led by Dabi shows up, and apparently they are called the Vanguard Action Squad of the League of Villains, and they finally start their attack. So, next episode is where all the action starts, and I am hyped for it because this is where we get to see more of 1B and 1A actually somewhat teaming up together, trying to take down the Vanguard Action Squad of the League of Villains. I know the name is a little long, but they're literally just called the Vanguard Action Squad. But since they are tied to the League of Villains, that's their extended name. But yes, so this is the Vanguard Action Squad, and it's led by Dabi, and Toga's there, but there's also the other 5 villains that we don't know the names of yet, unless you've read the manga. But next episode, we will see their names, we will see their quirks, we will see a lot of action between 1A, 1B, and the Vanguard Action Squad. So hopefully you guys are psyched for the next episode of episode 4 or 42 of My Hero Academia. And I know that I normally do the next episode preview, so if you do not want to be spoiled by the next episode preview, then after this, in a little bit, or just now, you can leave and don't want to be spoiled. But if you do, hope you guys will enjoy the next episode preview. And I'm Trevor Plays. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Give me a like, leave me a comment. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And I guess I will see all of you guys in the next review of My Hero Academia. So, enjoy the next episode preview.
Here's the preview. The League of Villains finds our training camp, and not even Kota will escape their attack. Next time, my hero! With One For All at full power, I can protect Kota! Go beyond! Plus Ultra!